We talk about relationships in the bourbon bougie community, but we also need to talk about friendships. And we need to make sure that we are keeping our friendships in balance with our relationships because sometimes, as soon as a man gets introduced into the equation, you lose your friendships. Let's talk about this. This is from Sleep Immediate. She posted this in the Bourbon Bougie subreddit. She said, "My feminist friend turned into a Pickmeisha." She says, I've been friends with this girl for the past 5 years, and I have always appreciated her and her complete disregard for the opposite gender. She had been an escort for most of her life, and I've never cared about it. She was smart and always had a very interesting take on most subjects. To be honest, her job was kind of an added value because she had a deep knowledge of men's psyche and behavior. When we met, I was the hopeless romantic and she was the cynical one. Then life happened, and I experienced firsthand the real nature of men. So we ended up having the same vision. Long story short, an old friend of hers comes forward and they start a long distance relationship practically out of the blue. It was strange, but okay. That's where I witnessed the most shocking transformation I have ever seen, and not for the better. She transformed almost overnight into kind of a trad girlfriend. She cooked, cleaned, treated him like a little prince, let him hit it raw. She had always been against it. She was adamant. She would have never justified the poor behavior of a man, but she is glossing over serious lies and mistreatment. Examples. At the very beginning, she found out the same day they were intimate, he had X with someone else. Okay, they were still not a thing. Still, you can say, but the fact is, he lied for weeks and then admitted to it. Then, when they formalized their relationship, he invited her to a friend's wedding, but attended it alone, hiding the fact that he was there. He went to a foreign country without informing her, but pretending he was at home, etc. Maybe for someone, this is not a big deal, but knowing her, I know this is a hard pass for her, or at least it was. He also admitted he was dependent on female validation, um, that he likes to get female attention. She found out he hid his stories to her, still stayed. She is vehemently child free, but guess what? Letting him hit it raw and ejaculating inside her because her words, so he can be happy. Ugh, okay. Resulted in several pregnancy scares and a miscarriage. She keeps things secretive with me, which is strange since we are close, but one day she opened up and showed me how he's talking to her. Premise: the guy is objectively ugly, but tall. My friend is better looking than him. He treats her like she should be grateful he is spending time with her. He doesn't know that she was an escort, by the way. He, her own words, starts fights out of the blue for stupid reasons, like the use of cosmetic surgery that she had in the past, just twice, Botox, but it's gone now, and how he would break up with her if she had any procedure done. He calls her superficial and threatens to leave every time they have a different opinion. I have seen chats and I was appalled by how he was talking to her and how passively she was answering him, always trying to calm him down. Before meeting this dude, my friend had been in a very bad financial situation, didn't have the money to go grocery shopping, kind of bad. I pushed her to find a regular job so she could breathe again, but she always refused the possibility of it. She told me she would have never worked in restaurants again. Not even 2 weeks after meeting this dude, she immediately ran to find a job as a waitress. What the F? Now, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel kind of ideologically cheated on. How can you profess one thing and do the complete opposite? It seems that a relationship gives her kind of a societal validation. We still share red pill content to laugh about their stupid ish, but it doesn't feel good or genuine like before. Am I entitled to feel this way, or am I tripping? Should I talk to her? If yes, how? I'm scared that being in this Pickmeisha phase could make her think I'm jealous that she has a relationship when the problem is how her words do not align with her actions and how much she bends over backwards for a dude. Your friend is a hypocrite. She's not living by the words that or beliefs that she previously had. I mean, yes, people can grow and change, but how do you change just like that? Unless it was already in you and you were lying before. So she was either lying before and just waiting for the perfect man to come along or any man to come along. And then her Pickmeisha phase clicked. There's no other way to explain it. And I don't know how you get your friend back after this. Sometimes relationships can damage friendships, and it's so unfortunate. And I don't really know how people go back after being pushed to the sidelines, because this doesn't sound like this is going to be a very productive and healthy and supportive relationship if he is talking to her in a degrading manner and lying. Like, that can't be sustainable. And so I'm not sure how you go about this, but let's look at some of the comments and see what the people in the comment section of the videos say. Okay, 4B Forever says, I experienced something similar to this growing up. My best friend was very anti-man. Anytime I got a boyfriend, she would talk about how gross he was. She hated everything about him. It was all of them. Some of them were awful, but she hated all of them. But if they wanted to be friends with her, she would be friends with them while also talking ish about them. Then she lost weight, and men started being interested in her, and she became a huge pick me. It turns out all the men she held was because they didn't want her. It was one of those fox and the grapes type of thing. She didn't like them because she couldn't have them. But as soon as one of them wanted her, she was transformed into a pick me. So that could be a thing. Maybe she really wanted a relationship and that's all that she was waiting for. That's all. That was the water that it took for the pick me to grow. The OP says, this is crazy. I thought she was anti men for all the she witnessed. I am anti man for what men showed me they are. She was the champion of never have a man for love, just for money. Now she dates a broke dude and she proudly says she's an independent woman who goes 50-50. I'm like, girl, what? On the way says, digmatized. Oh my God. Complex Clue says, as a former Pickmeisha, it's a phase. She's probably insecure and jealous and probably doing this because she feels like she has no options in dating. She'll hit a wall eventually and wake up like I did 5 years ago with a shitty ex. The OP says, I had a Pickmeisha phase too. Woke up violently from it 2 years ago. My phase lasted around 1.5 years. Never looked back since. Every time I answer some man, I double check not to sound agreeable because I'm not, and not to sugarcoat my thoughts. The thing is, she had a Pickmeisha phase too. She had an abusive relationship for a year 10 years ago, and then sweared she would never have committed the same mistakes. Now she is doubling down. She used to judge me harshly when I was in my lover girl era, and now she's doing worse. Her Majesty says, same. I think it's normal for women to have a pick-me-sha phase so that their opinions can be based on facts rather than pure ideology. Having experienced mistreatment makes it make sense to be fed up with men. So it's important that women experience relationships with men without too much ideology or stigma attached to them. They can still be advised what to do or not to do, but ultimately they need to make up their own minds so they can witness before their very eyes what happens then. Okay, that's some good stuff right there. I was raised by a person who experienced this and became very anti-men as a consequence. I still craved men's presence in my life and wanted to have a taste of it. I had a taste and it didn't taste as good as I thought it would. So my upbringing and ideology was confirmed by firsthand experience, which makes this ideology more stable in time as a belief. There must be a reason why she changed her behavior this much, but only she can know what she is missing in her life that made her act this way. Usually, the long term answer to any trauma is to look for love and validation within yourself rather than through the external source, here, a man. It seems like she needs to figure this out still. I know that we all have stories of a friendship being damaged or being the ones that push away a friend because of a man. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.